Hey guys, how's it going? It's Etanyos here. Welcome to episode number 4 of this NHL 25 Nashville Predators franchise mode. Today we're going to be getting through the 2025-26 regular season, and if you guys enjoyed this one, make sure to go down below, drop a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to never miss when I upload, and of course, make sure to leave comments responding to the comment I have pinned in the comment section below the video to get featured in the next one. Let's get into it. So guys, last episode I left you with the question of what should we do for the 2025-26 regular season? 1, what trades and moves would you like to see me make before the deadline? 2, what position should we be targeting for the upcoming draft? And 3, what should our strategy for the new no movement clause contracts be? So the first comment here came from iDeck with Theo saying, get rid of Nyquist, so that is absolutely a move we can make just to clear up an extra roster spot for young guys to play. The Real Divinity said trade for Guhle, so trading for Caden Guhle is an option as well. He said if that doesn't work out, I say trade away Saros, maybe Nyquist as well, basically doing a hard U-turn and tanking for Dupont instead of McKenna, so that's something we can definitely try to do. Obviously, it would be nice to get a Gavin McKenna type player. We just won the number 2 overall pick last year, so if we don't get a top, very, very top end, like a top 2 pick again this year, that's not the end of the world by any means. It just would be nice to get like a top 10 kind of player here, because it's mostly forwards, wingers, like wingers and centers in the top end of this draft. Maybe a guy like Bickle or Mikas is really good, but we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, it would be very nice to get like a Hagens or Belchetz type of size player, but we'll see how that goes. And then, of course, there isn't really a lot of defense in the top end of this draft. The best defenseman is ranked 20th with Dmitry Kuzevnikov, so we'll see how that goes, but that's something to keep an eye on. Let's see. Vincent Huard Peltier said, I would 100% jump into a full rebuild. It's going to be tough with Stammer and Marshy wanting to stay, but you can't be competitive with that aging core. So, great comment there. Definitely an accurate comment as to what we're kind of expecting. We are going to take a look here. Braden Cream said, I think you should be targeting a forward in this draft, especially Ethan Belchetz, since he is a good and huge power forward, so that is definitely something we can try to do. It just depends on where our pick lands, really. But yeah, to get a 6'4", 230-pound power forward would be crazy good and crazy beneficial for our team. He also said, I think you should also go for Daxton Rudolph, and I think you should trade Saros to get a first-round pick in this draft. So that is definitely something we can do. As I just showed you guys, wherever he is, Daxton Rudolph is ranked way down in this draft, a lot lower than I thought. That's something I said last episode, but something we'll definitely keep an eye on as, a potential right D to bring in for this team. Caleb Taylor said, tough spot to be with the guys not wanting to be moved. You can probably move away from 2 of the vets at some point. For the draft, the blue line might need to be addressed in the first round. The only problem with that is that we don't really have a lot of first round D prospects to look at. There's like 2, maybe. So this is probably going to be a forward year, unfortunately, but next year we will definitely be looking at some defensemen in the first round. Hopefully that's the goal, at least, is that there's going to be a little bit more selection for first round D-men next year, but yeah, it's pretty much just these 2, Verhoof and Kuzevnikov, so that's what we're rolling with. So going off of those comments, we might not necessarily trade Saros in this episode. I would love to, but it's going to be hard to find a trade for him simply because he's got such a big money type of contract. So yeah, we'll have to kind of play that one by ear. I would love to trade Saros, but again, it's going to be just super tricky with his current contract, and there's just no trades found. There's only a few teams that are actually willing to take him on. Even like, yeah, again, Ravensburgen doesn't even have a trade option right now, so that is going to be a little bit tricky to deal with, but we will figure that one out. Apart from that, you guys did also say trade Nyquist, so we can definitely try to do that. Let's see where his contract is kind of valued at. Okay, so he's nothing super valuable. Might get us like a second. Oh, okay. Or we get Pyotr Kochetkov on a 2-year deal. What's Kochetkov valued at? I really don't know how good or bad he is. If he's only like 81 rated or something, then yeah, 83 is not bad. That would actually probably be a little bit more of the type of goalie we're looking for, but we would have to trade Saros and get a first-round pick for that. So I think we're just going to start by simming ahead here a little bit, and then as things progress, we'll go from there, see, what trades are available, which teams are buyers, which teams are sellers. I think we're most certainly going to be a seller, but it's just going to take a little bit of time to get to that point. So let's sim up to the first AHL game there. Andrew Burnett, what's our season goal? I would honestly love to... I'm going to say no expectations. Sorry, Burnett. No. We're not underestimating your ability. We're just saying this team is not as good as they should be, or is not going to be as good as they should be. So I'm sure we're going to see lots of trade offers here, but we're just going to have to kind of play it as we go. And I'm definitely going to have to upgrade some of the arena this year because we haven't been doing that in the past. So, well, we managed to go 5-1, 6-1 in the preseason. Okay. So a 6-1 preseason is actually a pretty good sign. That's something that I was not necessarily expecting, but is something that we definitely like to see. While I'm thinking about it, because I'm probably going to forget otherwise, we are going to go and extend Zachary Leroux a contract offer right now. Let's see if we can get him. Yeah, if we go 8 years, 2.5. He's going to want more than that. He's probably going to be 8 years, $3 million, which honestly, a $3 million, if we go 3.5, maybe even 2, then that'll probably get him. I think we give him a modified no trade clause and give him like a 25% team offer. We'll do that, and we'll go 3.5. That should be enough to get his contract signed. I think that's a really great deal for him, so hopefully he'll sign that. That'll be a great long-term deal for us too. $3.5 million for a guy like Leroux could be extremely beneficial to a long-term competitive team in the future for Nashville. 8 years, can we get him at 2.5? I would love to get Justin Barron at 2.5, but it doesn't look like that's quite going to be the case. We would have to do like a 2 or 3 year, or a 3 or 4 year to get him at that price. He's a high 6, so nothing like super crazy. He doesn't have a ton of potential. He's got a bit of potential. So we could be able to pay him just $1.6 million for the next 2 years. We'll do that, and hopefully he will sign that. The only other guys we have to worry about really are Svechkov and maybe one other guy like Ananen, but Ananen's probably not going to cost us a whole lot. Yeah, if we go 2 years, we can pay him $900K, or let's go $1 million for the next 3 years. Ananen, that'll take him to 28, which would be a really good deal too, but we'll have to see if they actually sign those contracts or not. All right, and let's see what our team ratings are this year. So we are looking at 68 offense, 72 defense, and 73 goaltending. All right, so we'll sim up to our first game against Calgary here. Take a look at our team. They're probably going to be okay, nothing insane, but they should be all right. Yeah, 88, 85, 88, so that is solid. We'll just have to see if the team actually plays up to those abilities or not. Obviously, a guy like Josi could just carry this entire team if he's really having a good year, but we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, we'll jump into the calendar sim here, see if things are going well or not. It's really just kind of an up in the air crapshoot, but yeah, we'll do the first month here. Looks like we got 2, 4, 6, 8 games to start, and let's see how we do. And, all right, we are going to get Justus Ananen with that contract. Same with Justin Barron and Zachary Leroux on those contracts. Those are all great deals. Wow, we hit you up this rush like 4 times. Oh, come on. No. Are you kidding me, EA? Is this how we're going to be now? We're going to just crash in the middle of saves? That was such a waste of like an hour. So guys, we're on sim number 2. Apparently I have autosave off, which makes no sense because that just actually cost me a bunch of time. So we're going to make sure that is on because the game just crashed in the middle of the save after I had made a whole bunch of trades. So we're going to try to duplicate all those trades, which is going to be especially difficult, but I'm going to sim up to January 1st where we made the trades, and then we're going to go from there. So... Okay, so we're at January 1st. It's a completely different spot because our team is now actually second last in the Pacific and probably like 10th last in the league, somewhere around there. Very different spot than where we were when I made all the trades initially. I don't even know what to say. This team is just so all over the place. Stamkos is almost a point per game, which is actually hilarious because this team is not good. We are not bottom 8. We're bottom 9. Okay, so I'm sure we could improve on that terribleness as far as make the terribleness more terrible. So we're going to go and propose some trades. First things first, like you guys said, let's trade Saros. That's just simply going to be the deal. We're going to do the same kind of thing here with... they don't want to trade Cam Talbot. Okay, that works for me. But we'll grab their first rounder next year for the Dupont draft. I think that's probably a better play. So let's see if we can go Juuse and a first next year. That does go. Okay, perfect. Yeah. We get 2027 first for Josi Saros. Then we're going to trade Ryan O'Reilly. Probably also go to the Wings if we wanted to, but I want to trade him to the Devils because the Devils want him. And if we can do this properly, then the Devils are going to be stacked and we're going to get picks out of it. And so we're going to try to grab both of their firsts over the next 2 seasons. See if, well, that won't go obviously, but see if we can throw our 2028 second in there just to sweeten this deal a little bit. And nope, okay. So get lost, New Jersey. I don't know what else to tell you. Don't say that you want the picks if you don't want the picks. Let's see if we can grab 2 firsts off of the Canucks. We cannot. So what we're gonna do, off the Canucks, off the Sharks. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to grab. We cannot grab Marc-Edouard Vlasic. Let's try to grab Jeremy Lauzon. And then I wonder, can we send them Nyquist as well? That could actually be a really fun deal. We just have to trade like the next worst value player, so probably Guriev. Let's retain 50% on Nyquist, see if that improves the deal. I don't think it did. Okay, so maybe we go San Jose's first this year and their second next year instead. Maybe that'll be the play. I mean, we could try to get our own second rounder back too, but let's just go... Actually, yeah, let's just go get our own second rounder next year back and see if maybe that deal decides to click. Does that go through? Not quite. The only other way I'm doing that trade is that way. And you can go get lost. Unless we retain... Ryan O'Reilly's got 2 years left, so let's retain $2 million off of him. See if that's enough to get it to go. No. Get fucked, San Jose. Okay, I really liked the New Jersey deal that we had before. That didn't go through. How we doing, Chicago? You want to trade us 2 firsts for Ryan O'Reilly? I would love that. I'll give you a 2nd rounder in a couple years. And then you got to give a player. So let's go the worst player on your roster. And by the worst, I literally mean like, I don't know, whoever's under contract, Joey Anderson. Does that work? It should, but they're not going to trade away 2 first-round picks. Okay. Give me your 1st and 2nd this year, then. Okay, does that go through? I hope so, because really at this point that you've got to be kidding me. Okay, Winnipeg 2nd then. Come on. Fuck. Okay. And then finally, we're going to go trade Nyquist for next to nothing. And by next to nothing, I mean like 2 third-rounders. So, Rangers or Devils. We're going to go Devils, because then we get 2 third-rounders this year, at least. And Colorado 3rd. All right, so slightly different trades than we just did the round before. But we've now bottomed our team out as far as the actual value and capacity and everything goes. So, yeah, we'll see how that all plays out. It's going to be interesting to see. Again, Joakim Kamel's not in the lineup. Why? I genuinely do not understand this game. Like, let's not put the high top 6 winger in the lineup. Yeah, no, that's just counterintuitive. Like, goodness gracious. Okay, we have 2 goalies that are 80 rated. That is not NHL caliber. Those are NHL backup caliber goalies. So, now we get to see how the team plays. Heading into the deadline here. We are not going to be jumping into the deadline at this point, because maybe that's what caused it to crash on the first go-around. Ooh. Okay, we've actually been offered the first trade I've seen of this series where I've actually stopped and gone, hold on a second. That could be good depending on the player, but the Columbus Blue Jackets offer us Kirill Marchenko on a 2-year, $3.8 million deal and a 4th-round pick in exchange for 2 thirds and Jakub Malota. Marchenko is injured, is only 80 rated currently, but I think that's probably a morale issue. I think we're going to pull the trigger on this one because I do really like Marchenko as a player. I just think that it's a matter of the right environment. So I know we don't need right wingers, but we're going to go for this one. So essentially we're just trading back 1 round to get Kirill Marchenko. We're going to take that all day. Yeah, okay. So we're going to go past the trade deadline. I'm not going to make any trades unless we get some crazy pop-up offers again, but yeah, we're definitely bottoming out at this point, which is exactly where we want to be. Okay, so we're currently sitting at 64 points, which has got to be tied for like 5th worst in the league at this point. Again, severe mediocrity in Nashville here. Forsberg's got 63 points in 73 games, so pretty much identical to our team's overall standing and position, but Forsberg's a good player. It's just he has nobody around him right now to actually help out. We are currently bottom 5, so that is about as good as I can ask for. Really, if we drop a bunch of our next games, then we could be in contention for the 1st overall pick again, but we'll have to wait and see. We have done a very good tank job here, and I am going to overwrite this current file again because I just don't want to lose progress. That's it. That's literally all I want. I don't even care if we win the lottery this year or anything. We're in that bottom 5 position to get an Ethan Belchetz or maybe that other Berglund guy or something like that, but we'll see what happens here. And the losing continues, so that's great. Bruins are still sitting in mediocrity at 63 points. Same with the Blue Jackets. We win a game, so that's not great. We win a couple games. Okay, so we're probably not going to have the best odds in the lottery. That's okay. It's not the end of the world by any means, but wow, 10-4 loss to Winnipeg. We really put on a show there. Okay, so we finished the season with 70 points. By the looks of it, there's 3 teams worse than us. Out of the entire and total standings there, we finished 31, 43, and 8. Very, very good tank job from the Nashville Predators this year. So that's all I wanted. Forsberg gets 75 points still, which is actually crazy considering how terrible this team was. Steven Rueda leads all rookies with just 25 points. Meanwhile, Nathan McKinnon scores 150 points. That's disgusting. I cannot believe he scored that many, but I kind of can at the same time. Jeez. I mean, hey, our team's actually growing slow and steady is how I would describe it. I mean, Ruedel got up to an 82, so that's not actually bad. Matt Schaefer did not grow at all, which is not a good sign. And yeah, let's see. Besides that, we are going to go check out the progress reports here quickly, and then I'm going to put in all of the scores and stat lines and stuff into my spreadsheet. But let's see what we're looking at in the system. Schaefer got some decent growth. Reed Schaefer got some decent growth. Matthew Schaefer did not. Molendyk's up to a 77. That's solid. Teddy Stieg is up to a 75. Who else had just ridiculous growth? Nielsen grew pretty well. Ravensbergen's up by 1 rating to a 73, so he might even be a goalie that we end up trading for like a William Lassell or something like that, because I think Lascelles a franchise goalie if I'm not mistaken, but maybe they changed that on the roster or something like that. How about an 8 overall rating growth for Henry Bruchowitz? That's crazy good. Ivanov grew a little bit. I don't even know who this Josi guy is, and I live in Kelowna, which is hilarious because I'm a Rockets fan. I know that I'm a Rockets fan, but like I just don't even recognize that player, which is probably bad. I haven't really been watching the Rockets the last few years, so. Goaltending growth overall, pretty decent. Defensive growth, not so great, especially from the top guys. Like, we want Matthew Schaefer to be in the NHL next year. And if that doesn't happen, that's pretty rough. Our left wing got some decent growth, actually. But what was Schaefer's point total? 52 and 57. Yeah, that's not great. But again, he's that number 2 selection. Sometimes they take a couple years to progress. So we'll have to wait and see. But I'm going to put in all of these stat lines, apart from we need to advance one more day just to get these last couple games finished off. And there we are. So your President's Trophy winner is the Colorado Avalanche, 119 points, 56, 19, and 7 record. We finish 4th last in the league as far as my eyes can tell me. So a bottom 5 position, great spot to be for the Nashville Predators, 29th overall finishing spot. Again, just Boston, Columbus, and Calgary behind us. There is a good chance we probably get bumped down and don't win a top 3 pick, but even if we slide down 3 positions, that should still be enough to get a guy like Ethan Belchetz for the future of our left wing, which is actually a really nice place to be. So yeah, I'm not really going to complain about how that season went overall. And yeah, we know Belchetz is going to be good, even if he's a 1-year ETA or even 2-year ETA. So be it. It's really not the end of the world. We just need a guy with size more than anything after drafting some slightly smaller forwards last year. And I am very interested in taking a William Lassell as well. If we can trade up, that would be great. But we'll have to wait and see. It looks like, yeah, our picks should be pretty close together because we also have, who else is first? We have Chicago's first, and they actually missed the playoffs. So, yeah, that's not the worst spot to be by any means. I think things worked out pretty well for us here. Oh, that was awesome. Our goaltending was... Okay, so here's the stats, guys. Our goaltending was so bad, it's hilarious. Only 19 wins combined between those three guys since we traded Saros. 66 points for Josi as our defensive leader, and it's not even close. He literally over-doubled Brady Skjei's points. Skjei was also injured for parts of the season like Josi, but that's just crazy. And then our forwards, really just... The top line was kind of the big point producers. We got 40-ish points out of Novak and Evangelista, so that is solid. Marchessault scored 26, so he'll probably see some regression, but he is also only 25, so still some time to grow there. But yeah, our team finishes again 31, 43, and 8 for 70 points and a 29th place finish in the league. So we got a top 4 odds here on the draft. Hopefully we won't slide outside the top 5, but we'll have to wait and see. And as far as our Milwaukee Admirals go, we actually did quite well. Best scorer on the team was Vinny Hinostroza. The 32-year-old put up 60 points. We saw some nice scoring from Reed Schaefer with 44 points this year. David Edstrom scored 38, so an improvement from last year as far as I know, which it was. And then we saw actually some decent defensive scoring too. Jared Cohen putting up very solid points for his first year in a professional league. And then Tanner Molendyk scoring 32, which isn't terrible either. So yeah, I'm very happy with how those guys are developing and trending. They should be in the league within maybe a season or two. So we will have to wait and see how their offseason development goes. But yeah, the Admirals finished with a solid spot as far as 8th place in the league goes. That's the standings behind my head there, just looking really good. So yeah, now we're going to sim up to the draft, not really waste too much time here with anything else, and see where our pick actually lands, because again, we got top 4 odds, which is a great spot to be. And then of course we'll track how the rest of the playoffs go. Alright, we're down to the final teams here. Who's it going to be? LA and Toronto, and I would bet the Leafs win the Cup. Yep, they do. Alright, so the Toronto Maple Leafs and San Jose Barracuda are your champions this year. Interesting teams to win it. Good on the Leafs. Matthews is scoring that much. It kind of makes sense. But yeah, definitely a different look this year a little bit as to who's winning what. I am also interested to see where did we get bounced as far as Milwaukee goes, just because that does have an impact on how far or how much progression you see from your team. So let's see who is the big guns here. Okay, so solid playoff tree. Toronto really didn't have trouble until they met LA. And then we got bounced first round by Rockford again. Oof. So guys, this year for awards, the Art Ross went to Nathan McKinnon. Same with the Hart. Makar wins back-to-back Norrises. Rantanen wins the Lady Byng this year. James Hagens gets the Calder Trophy with Philly. Nylander's actually the Conn Smythe winner over any of the other guys on that team. Samsonov, of course, wins the Vezina and the Jennings. Roman Josi wins the Mastertons. We do get our first award, as far as I know, out of this series so far. Spencer Carberry wins the Jack Adams. Matty Beniers wins the Selke. Matty Beniers, that's interesting. Nathan McKinnon with the Lindsay. And Austin Matthews with the Rocket. All right, so that concludes all the awards and everything else for this season. I think at this point now we're just simming up to the draft, so we'll see where we land, what happens with our team. It's going to be an interesting time for anybody who's a Nashville fan, because this team might be in the lottery for another very top-end player here, or maybe we're going to move down. We'll have to wait and see. And it's going to be the Boston Bruins winning Gavin McKenna. Wow, okay, so we don't slide at all, actually. This is the number 2 pick, slides up. Number 3 also slides up by 1 pick, and then Calgary drops to 3rd. So we're going to have picks 4 and 13 by the looks of it there with our first-round picks. Very solid positions to be drafting. And honestly, with pick 4, we can probably get a really good player too. So we will have to just take a look and see what's available at the draft. All right, so a top 4 pick could very easily land us either a center. It would be nice to get a center, like a Kai Ristolainen or a, Ivar Stenberg. That's probably not going to happen. But I am interested in this Jorgen Hogland guy as well. So we'll have to see how that kind of plays out. I mean, maybe there's an option where we trade down. I don't really see that happening, but we'll have to kind of play it by ear. Pick 13, we could either get a center with like a Viggo Bjorck, or I don't know who else we'd go for. It would probably, besides that, it would either be Dmitry Kazabnikov, who looks like an NHL-ready defenseman, or William Lassell, who I think is going to be a franchise goalie, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. I really just don't know how that's going to play out. And then we'll hopefully try to go get like a Keaton Verhoof as well, because I think he would be a very nice addition. And of course, Daxton Rudolph. So we'll be looking for those kind of early second-round picks to trade up for at the draft at least, because we only really have third-round picks in our barrage right now of draft picks that we have. Kravchenko maybe will be good, but I really have no idea. The rest of these guys are all kind of just shots in the dark, and it's going to be a fun draft coming up. But let me know what you guys think our strategy should be for this draft. Obviously, we're going to take this Caden Manning guy if he's got a 1-year ETA, so that's a lefty man that's guaranteed locked in for our team. And then this Christoph Wolf will also draft. So those guys are just simply locks. There's no other way to go about it. We're going to take them. And Berg fours might be decent as fifth round pick. We'll definitely take Bengtson as a probably close to fifth round pick. But yeah, he looks, again, high elite goalies you can't really pass on. You got to take them and then use them as trade capital. If not, actually let them develop. Adrian Rodriguez might be a really good player too, but we're going to have to, again, wait and see. Alexei Sergeyev, who knows? We'll keep a pin on him just in case, but I highly doubt he really becomes anything. And maybe a Viktor Kabanov is a decent player. There's some guys in here that could have good potential, but we won't know until the draft actually happens. But let's see, anything else? Yeah, it doesn't really look like it. Okay, so we will be aiming for some good picks in this upcoming draft as well. I think we are going to be able to get a decent group of players. We are just going to advance one day to retirement here. And, okay, I guess we'll advance one more day to retirement. And here are your retirees this year. So we're going to see Brett Burns finish his career with over 1,000 points. He could have easily kept playing as a 40-year-old. He's looking really good still. Jack Johnson, Alec Martinez, Casey Cizikas, Derek Ryan. Some good players in this retiree class. Quite a few guys with over 1,000 games. Quite a few guys that just missed it. Could have played another third of a season. They would have hit 1,000 games. But yeah, that is your retiree class here. Pretty solid group. And then for goaltending, James Reimer's kind of the only one that's actually, an NHL caliber goalie. All right, so that will conclude this episode here, episode number, what are we on, 4 here now? And yeah, in the next episode, we will get to the draft, so that is going to be a fun one. Make sure to answer the comments down below as to what strategy we should use to approach this draft and off-season. Let me know, again, to get featured, and that is going to be it for me. If you guys enjoyed this one, make sure to show your support down below with a like, subscription, and of course comment, as I just said. And that is it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Etanyos signing out, and until next time.